yeah, so we'll be done with poetry this week, and then next week we're going to go into a short story. So that's something to look out for. All right. So just a couple of things. I posted grades last week. You probably noticed, as long as you've been turning things in. Just a couple things about that. One, I still have a couple more assignments have to be put in. Those will be put in either today or tomorrow. So that's one. Number two, you may have noticed that there were a few of you who turned in an assignment. I graded it, I put it in, but then I excused it. Okay. So you see a number in there, but it's also excused. The reason for that is because the grade that you received on that assignment is less than the grade that you currently have in the class. And because of the policy for this whole coronavirus thing, I cannot lower your grade. So if you're in a situation where putting in that grade would have lowered you, then I have to just excuse it. So that's why that's how it is. So like we've said in the past, nothing here can hurt you. It can only help you. So yeah, that was kind of the thought process there. So just so you know. All right. Let me share my screen and then we'll get started. Today hopefully I won't have you too long. All right. I want you guys to get started on that work as soon as we can. Okay, so really quickly, let me just go over what the classwork is for this week. So we got 3 things here. Let's look at the standards and learning targets. Okay, so the 2 standards that we're focused on this week, one of them is all about determining theme or central idea. So just like we've done the previous weeks, you're going to be doing that same thing here. And then also analyzing how the author takes information from a previous work and either transforms or integrates it into their own work. So that whole idea that these 3 authors are writing about the same stuff. And then we also have a writing standard here, basically stating that you're going to be looking at well-chosen, relevant facts, using concrete and precise language to describe a topic, things like that. So here are our 2 learning targets. First one, I can identify a central idea or theme shared by poems by Marlowe, Raleigh, and Williams. So this one here, the first thing that you're going to be doing this week is figuring out what central idea all 3 of those poems have in common, okay? Then our second one, I can analyze how this shared central idea develops over the course of these 3 poems. So you're going to be performing an analysis, explaining how this central idea is present in each of the works. So that's what we're focused on there. Before we begin, because today's class hinges so much on your understanding of what the assignments are, I want to go over the assignments first, and then we will get to what we need to do today, okay? If at any point you have questions, let me know. So assignment 8 is an essay outline. So when you open it, it'll look like this. I do my usual explanation thing here where I'm discussing just the main point of the assignment. Make sure that you read that. But in short, the main idea of this assignment is to develop an outline, okay? So usually, if we were in class in a normal school environment, you guys would be doing this in class as a summative assignment, as pre-work for an essay, and we've done this previously. So because we're at home, all right, I recognize that the chances of you guys writing a full essay and turning it in and actually putting in the effort that you would put in during class is probably very unlikely. So we've modified it in that this summative has 2 parts. All right, so the first part of your summative is the outline. Now, usually outlines will not count toward a summative grade. right? It's just kind of the pre-work, but in this case, it will, okay? Your outline is going to go through the whole essay process, right? You're going to outline what your intro would be, your 3 body paragraphs, your conclusion, just like you normally would. The second assignment, they'll go over in more detail in a second, is the actual writing portion. So just hold off on that. So if you look here, this is our outline. I have it filled in for you, okay? So I explain exactly what I'm looking for. So if we look here at introduction, I need 3 things. I need something that captures the reader's interest, or a hook. This should be like 1 sentence long. You would type it in here, blah, 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 right? Whatever it is you want to put down, as long as it's a hook, as long as it grabs the reader's attention. Then you would introduce the poems and what topic you will discuss. I don't need a ton of sentences here, but I need a sense of how you would do that, okay? How would you introduce them? Maybe give a sentence as an example of that. And what topic are you going to be talking about related to all 3 of these poems, okay? Because remember our question here, how does a shared essential idea develop over the course of the 3 poems from this unit? So and we'll talk more about that shortly. But yeah, so you just go through this template here, and all you're doing is filling it in, right? It's like 1 sentence per part, and you're just being as detailed as you can. So as far as our traditional view of a full essay, this is how I'm going to be grading you on developing an argument over time, okay? Over a longer document. So that's the first assignment. Any questions on that? Anything that's not clear? Anything that you're confused about? All right, I'll take that as we are good. If not, be sure to let me know. Okay, assignment 9. All right, now this one is your more traditional end of unit assessment style assignment. So if you look here, assignment 9, you're going to be looking again at this prompt. How does a shared central idea develop over the course of the 3 poems from this unit? Now, if we were in class, this would be a full 5-paragraph essay. Because I know that if I said 5-paragraph essay, 90% of the people who do things regularly probably wouldn't even do it. We're going to make it 3.
Okay.
Right. 3. I need an intro, I need a conclusion, and I need 1 body paragraph. Now, your body paragraph, now I'm going to post a separate video explaining this more, but your 1 body paragraph needs to be detailed. Okay, it needs to be very detailed for this to work. All right. So the way that these 2 assignments interact with each other, you're going to pick which point you want to talk about, and you're going to basically expand on your outline for that body paragraph. So this outline is still helping you, right? In that you're still planning. But I'm just not looking for the entire essay. I'm just looking for the intro, 1 body, conclusion. How will I grade you on the 2 bodies that aren't there? Well, I can see what you would have talked about here. All right. So if you kind of BS your way through the outline, then that's not going to help you when you come to assignment 9. So these 2 assignments are very connected. Okay. If you do poorly on one of them, it's very likely you're going to do poorly on the other one. Okay. So you need to make sure.
So wait, we only need 1 body paragraph, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I tried to make it a little bit briefer, so that hopefully that encourages you guys to put a little more effort into it. But yeah, so today we're going to talk more about this prompt, what it means, and how to address it. Okay. But yeah, so that's the 2 assignments for this week. Any questions, anything that needs clarification? All right. Okay. If you all could, if you go here on the stream page, I also included this document here along with the link to the Zoom. You can click this. Now, you should have the ability to edit this. Let me actually grab the prompt. All right, so take a second. I need you all to get into here. Just make sure we're opening this up. We'll give you another couple seconds. You find it right here, top of the page on Classroom. All right, so hopefully we're all figuring that out. So today, very simple, okay? We've spent class periods going over each of these 3 poems. We've talked about them. We've annotated them. We've looked at central ideas. And so today's really all about getting all that information together into one place, okay? So that place is right here. Now this document, the purpose behind this is to help you guys with your outline, help you guys with the shorter essay, okay? Oh, and by the way, the essay, that is still a summative grade. So it will still go in the grade book as a summative grade. So just so you know. Anyway, so this here is meant to help us organize our thoughts. So think of this as like a pre-work to the outline. All right. So I want you guys right now to take a look at this. Look at that prompt. It says, how does a shared central idea develop over the course of the 3 poems from this unit? So our goal is to figure out one theme or central idea that all 3 of these poems share. All 3 of these poems in some way have. Okay. So what I want you to do is I'm going to walk away for a couple minutes. Okay. I want you guys to collaborate with one another here in this space. And I want you guys to the best of your ability to fill these in. Okay. So I'll go through them. The first thing you should do is have all of these poems open. So make sure you have those open with you. But your goal is to figure out a central idea for Marlowe, Raleigh, and Williams. They should all be very similar. Okay. Once you figure out central ideas, I need some quotes or some supporting information. How do you know that central idea is present in that poem? What in the poem supports it? So they could just be quotes and things like that. And then just a little bit of reasoning. I don't need a paragraph. I just need to, what's the connection? So if you pick a piece of evidence, what's the connection between that evidence and that central idea? How does that piece of evidence prove it? Okay. So I've got 3 people who have this document open. You guys are going to be the editors. You guys should be able to add things. Could one of you try to add something just to make sure that you guys can actually change it? Perfect. Okay. Cool. So you 3 are the editors. Okay. So, or 4. Perfect. Whoever does not have this open, I still want you guys to talk. Okay. So unmute yourselves, have a conversation through here, and then the editors can type it in. Okay. So by the end of this, we should have a document that we can go over, that we can critique as a class, and then that should help you. After this activity, I'll take whatever questions you have, we'll go over it, but after that, it's pretty much all I have for you. So I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna walk away. You guys unmute yourselves, have a conversation. If you want to have a conversation in the chat through Zoom, you can. You can do it through the chat through Google Docs. That's fine too. Point is, I want all of your voices heard, and think of that as your participation for the day. Okay. All right. So I'm going to mute myself. You guys got 10 minutes until 10:32, and then we'll go over it. So please unmute yourselves and have a conversation.
So what we doing?
Give you guys another just a couple minutes and we'll go over it.
What's up,
I'm
Kachi?
slow. What the wrong? Because this is why you post too much stuff. I can't even find the poem.
They're all here. So in each week, like one of them's here. The rally poem week 4. Week 3, the nymph's reply. Week 2, passionate shepherd. They're all there. All right, once we got rally covered, we'll go over these. No rush. Add another 2 minutes and then we'll go. One more minute. All right, here we go. Okay, so we'll take these one at a time. Really what I'm looking for here is that by the end we have an idea of what the common central idea could be, because it's going to help you in working on your outlines. And that our supporting details are relevant and that they're adding to the conversation. So that's really the two things that I'm really looking for. So let's start with Marlo. The central idea here: nature can help find love. All right, who put that down?
Me.
Okay, can you explain?
Because like throughout the whole poem, he basically gets like the different nature. Like he said, like everything he's gonna give her, basically all the things that he's saying he's gonna give her, help him like kind of like attract her to like her liking him in a way, basically.
Okay. So all of the natural things in the world are helping the shepherd to attract this person.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I like the quote that we have here: "Fair line slippers for the cold, with buckles of the purest gold." Why'd you choose that quote?
Because where it says like buckles of gold, pure as gold, it shows that he's like kind of like rich in this time era, because like back then like gold was like a big thing. So it says that he's very rich and he could like take care of the person that he likes.
Okay. So you can kind of like take that further and go into how nature is almost like a tool, right? Nature's serving as a tool in order to create this love or continue this love. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Let's continue with that. So, Rally, who filled in this section here?
Me.
All right. Could you just kind of run us through it?
But basically, the central idea said that nature really doesn't last forever, and love doesn't last forever. And I chose that because, like, at the ending, she really talks, she really explains that, and like throughout the poem, she basically talks about trying to decide whether she should like live in a country with the shepherd. So yeah.
Okay. And why'd you choose that quote?
I chose that quote because it really it was really the only quote that like supports the central idea.
Okay.
And yeah.
So we got, but could youth last and love still breed? Had joys, no date, no age, no need. Let me find where that was. What lines was that again? 21 to 22?
Yeah, it was like at the ending.
Okay. This part here. But could youth last and love still breed? Had joys no date, nor age no need. In these delights my mind might move to live with thee and be thy Louvre. Okay, so this part here, if youth could last forever, right? If you can have love forever, if happiness had no expiration date, or when you got older, if you didn't need anything. So again, just like we talked about with this poem in previous weeks, this poem is a very cynical take on the same thing that Marlo's talking about, this idea that love or that nature and love and the human experience are all linked, right? Saying like, yes, they're linked, but in a more negative way. So when you have nature and love don't last forever. Okay. So nature and love don't last forever. Nature can help find love. All right, those are definitely linked. I like that. Let's look at Williams, and then we'll try to figure out how we can connect all three of those. Who filled in this one?
Me.
Can you talk us through it, please?
I mean, I can, but I don't want to.
Oh, come on.
Come on, to Mystic, just do it.
I appreciate you.
All right, I said nature and love can be described as a weapon. All right, wait, I want to add something.
All right.
Nature and love can be described as a weapon. It cannot bring peace.
I will add that for you. Okay. And why did you choose the line that you chose? How does it support that?
I chose it because, I mean, it went well with the central idea.
Okay, how so?
Because it was nature itself addressing Marlo.
Okay. Now, keep in mind your central idea is focused on this idea of love being a weapon, right? nature being a weapon and how it can't bring peace. I think that there are definitely better quotes that you could have picked. I really like the central idea that you have there. If you look here, we cannot go into the country will bring us no peace. You could have integrated that one or any of the ones where they're talking about like lance-shaped leaves, like this idea that the leaf itself is a weapon. Love itself is a flower with roots in the parched or dry ground. You could have done that one too. So there are better quotes, but I think that the main idea there is good. You say this quote shows that nature itself is addressing Marlowe's shepherd. That's a true observation, but it needs a little more as far as connecting the significance of this idea. Okay, overall good. So just a couple things, a couple observations. One thing that I really liked that you guys did was you didn't give me a one word topic. So good job there. We all know that the topic of these poems, what is the topic that all three of these poems are talking about?
Nature.
Okay. I would say nature. You can even go and say like nature versus humanity. That's a 3-word thing, but there's no like rule. It could be like a phrase too. So either nature and nature versus humanity or nature's relationship, let's say. So that's the topic. So a shared central idea. Obviously, all three poets have their own unique take, right? None of these are exactly the same. So how can we take these three main ideas and condense them down into one shared central idea? What's at the heart of what all three of these poems are talking about? That's what we have to answer. So think about it. Look at these three. What's at the heart of what all three of these poets are talking about? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's related to this topic right here. What are all three of these poets getting at with relation to this topic? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. Anyone can write their ideas down here. If you have like a list, we'll go through them. Okay. Give you guys about 5 minutes, then we'll go over it, and then we'll pretty much end after that.
Well, you said it. Oh, man.
Hey, what are we doing?
You got to find a central idea for all three poems.
Oh, okay.
Got about 2 minutes. All right, let's see what we got. So, what you guys have so far? Nature is a tool for love, but can be used as a weapon to break peace. Okay, this is good. It's a little too tailored to these two, and there's not enough that covers Marlowe. So when you run into this issue, and this is a common thing, when you're trying to compare 3 different texts that aren't talking about exactly the same thing, it's hard to sometimes come up with a central idea that covers all of them, right? And I think that we're running into that here. So this is a good first attempt. Now we just need to distill it down, right? So we took these 3, you guys distilled it down to 1, but now we need to break it down even further into its just essential part, right? So that you have something that applies to each of the poems, but that you can also explain how it's unique to each of them. So I highlighted this as your hint, nature's relationship with humanity, and I think that that's still a good starting point. So what you guys have here is you recognize that nature, according to Marlowe, can be used for love, right? You can, nature and love are related according to him. Again, it's a pastoral poem. All that stuff still applies. But then we have the other 2 poets who are saying that maybe the relationship between humanity and nature is not harmonious, is not necessarily always positive, right? So if we could break this down even further, to say something along the lines of humans have so you could break it down even more. And now this is not to say that this is like the perfect central idea on it. Honestly, it really isn't. There's still stuff I would change. But if you look, nature is a tool for love, but can be used as a weapon. We have something that's positive, we have something that's negative, right? So if we said humans have a relationship with nature, both positive and negative, or you could even say humans have a positive and negative relationship with nature, that opens up more possibilities for you with your outline, so that you could say, okay, well, Marlowe's obviously talking about a positive or harmonious relationship that people have with nature. Raleig's obviously talking about a more negative or a more or a less harmonious relationship. So it gives you a little more flexibility without locking you into something too specific. So what you guys put here is really good for when you're going into those individual poems and you're expanding on them and you're giving evidence and you're incorporating this sort of stuff into your reasoning. That's awesome. But when it comes to the central idea that you want to lead with in the context of an essay, you want to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. So I'm not going to say that this is perfect, but I think with what we have here, what you guys turned it into, and then how we brought that down even further, I think that this is a good place to start. You could tweak it. You can make it your own, absolutely. But I think this is a good place to start. Any questions before we move on to the very last thing I have to say? Anything that's not clear? All right. Overall, I thought this went pretty well. This was good. Okay, so what I just want to go over just a few little things. I'll take my attendance screenshot and then you guys will be good to go. So this here, use this when you write your outline. Remember that for your outline, you want to make sure that you're outlining all three of those paragraphs. You're only going to write one of them, like one of the bodies, but you want to outline all three of them, okay? So once you have a central idea, make sure you're incorporating it into all of your claims and your thesis, all of that stuff that you would normally do. The other thing is I recognize that all of this stuff, to an extent, especially with an English class, you can find a lot of this stuff online. I'm not stupid, right? I know that that's true. So here's what I did for this assignment. Actually, here we go. For this assignment, I'm going to drag this down. I clicked this part here, originality report. So I'm pretty sure you've all at some point turned something into like turnitin.com. This does the exact same thing. So it's going to tell me if you get it from a source and you're just plagiarizing, okay? So please make sure that you're not. Be as honest as you can. That will help us, do things the way that we should academically. So it's going. Technology. What's up?
So you got me.
Yep. So it'll go through it, but here's the thing. So this will tell you before you turn it in if there's something that looks too similar to something else. So it'll give you like a warning and you can fix it. But yeah, so I'll be checking that. Just make sure you're being honest. Again, it's only 3 paragraphs. I shortened it so that you guys don't have to do a full essay. But this is a summative, and so we have to try to treat it as closely to what we would do in class as possible. All right, any questions before we end? Let me do my little screenshot while you figure out if you have anything to ask. All right, so I assume that we're good. All right, if so, hopefully you guys have a good day. Again, all this is due on Friday. Good job today. If something's confusing you throughout the week, please let me know. If something with the outline is not gelling with you, I'll be more than happy to help. Same with the actual writing. But if you're all set, you're good to go. And have a great day.